Welcome to New Earth Lifestyles. I'm Janie King, your host and producer of the show. Thank you for being with me today. Thank you to Manchester, New Hampshire, and to manchestertv.org for allowing me the space to do this TV show, helping you to understand and see life, your life from a different perspective, perhaps. So, welcome. Glad you're here today. Thank you to John, my technical director, for setting me up. And thanks to Glenn for bringing these little lovely flowers, or candy flowers, commemorating Valentine's Day, which is coming up a week from tomorrow. Valentine's Day, St. Valentine's, heart, love. That's what we talk about here on the show, isn't it? Helping you to become happier in your life, which is a loving vibration, which is much better way to live your life, the best way to live your life, I guess I should say. So thanks for being with me. Thank you so much. And I have my lovely singing bowl here, my Tibetan Seven Metals bowl. I'm going to gong it. When I gong my bowl, that's an opportunity for me to breathe and come back into my body. And then I invite you to do the same thing. Take a deep breath and relax into the moment and be present, be here now. So this show is about you, helping you to look at life, your life, from a different perspective, from a different vantage point, perhaps. Coming up on the show today, I will be talking about clarity, becoming clear, and what that means, and how do you know if you're not, and so forth. So we'll be talking about clarity, and a good way to bring clarity into your life, the first way, is to breathe, which is what I like to model here. And so I'm going to gong the bowl again, and when I do, it's a good opportunity for you to take a deep breath and let it out with a sigh and feel yourself relax as you exhale. Okay, so here we go. The sound of the singing bowl. And this particular bowl is tuned to your heart energy center. So as you feel that or hear that tone, you may feel your chest soften, or you may feel something going on in your chest, opening you up. I don't know, whatever you're feeling, just become aware. Maybe you feel it somewhere else in your body. So this is your opportunity. I'm here to kind of be a model for you, but also give you time to look at yourself in a new way, look at your life in a new way, New Earth Lifestyles, your new lifestyle. Okay, so thank you for being with me. Now, my show is now live. Today's Thursday, February 6, 2014. If you'd like to call in, we can take your calls, and if you'd like to talk about clarity, or last week we talked about gratitude, or if there's something that triggers you that I'm talking about that you want to talk to me about or call in and ask questions about, please do call me, 603-413-0223. Please do call in. I'd love to hear from you and know who's out there. And so here we go. Clarity. Before we get into clarity, I did want to review gratitude, because clarity and gratitude go hand in hand. If you've been watching me in the past, my 30-minute show, which was not live, you have heard me talk about gratitude and clarity and breathing and becoming happy and finding our way in life in such a way that helps me, or helps you, helps the individual feel good about life. And when you do that, your feeling good about your life and what you're doing ripples out into the ethers, ripples out into everyone around you, into all of your relationships. And you will be surprised, absolutely surprised, when you start to shift in the ways that I've been speaking about. Everyone around you will begin to shift. It can be a positive thing for others, and maybe not so positive, because some people don't like shift and change, and some people don't like being happy, unfortunately. Some people like being angry and upset and judgmental all the time. But for me, I do not want those lower vibrations in my energy field, so I may repel people that are really dependent on being judging others and on criticizing and being critical and complaining and all those lower vibrations. I really do not resonate with those. So I know that I've attracted into my life people that don't do those things, and people that in my past that do thrive on those things have kind of gone to the wayside. And I'm sorry about that, but that's how life is. We are here to enjoy life, I believe. So I'm here to help you find ways to enjoy your life on a higher level, in a better way. So clarity. Before I go too much further, I also would like to say that the show can be seen 3 other times. Once on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. So if you know someone that missed the show today, please have them tune in Saturday at 10 a.m., 10 to 11. Tuesday, 10 a.m. as well. And Monday at 5 p.m. So I missed Saturday 10, Monday 5, and Tuesday 10 a.m. again. So here we are, ready to enjoy and explore life from a new perspective. Also, if you've been watching my show, my previous shows, and if not, then I'll catch you up a little bit here. I am focused, I'm an energy healer. I do hands-on energy work with people. I make Native American drums. I teach people how to make drums. I also teach people how to better their lives, and a lot of my clients are people that don't necessarily have physical ailments, but they have changes that they want to make in their direction in their lives that they feel stuck in. And so what I'm here helping you see and understand is basically some of the things that I do and use in my healing practice in New London. And so clarity is a big thing that I continually work on as well. So whatever I'm speaking to you about are things that I am working on in my own life, in my own body, in my own joy and happiness. So I'm welcoming you to kind of watch me or to listen to me and call in if you'd like to at 413-0223, or stay where you are and watch and just sort of check in with yourself. That's what I invite people to do when they come to my workshops and classes. I teach a class called Your Heart is Your Body's Healer. I teach a class on intuition. I also do groups of self-empowering programs, how to manifest your dreams, things like that, because I believe we all have these abilities to manifest. We all have these abilities to better our lives and have what we want and do the things that we desire to do. And one of the ways to start looking at that is to see, am I clear? And what is clarity? And how do I know if I'm not clear? So those are some things for you to consider as we talk now about clarity. And I wanted to say also that I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful and I'm thankful to the universe for giving me this time to be here with you on this TV show. I have been getting clearer and clearer and clearer about my life and who I am the longer I'm alive, which is amazing. But I know when I look back at my life, I've always been questioning myself. I've always been knowing there's got to be something better. I've always been a little dissatisfied or a lot dissatisfied with my life and unhappy and depressed many, many years of my life. And I didn't really realize that till maybe a couple, 3 years ago that I've been depressed and unhappy my whole life, even though I've got a lot of friends. And so, those are some things to help you to realize, well, maybe I wasn't clear. I was not clear. I wasn't clear about what I wanted, even though I've done a lot of self-discovery process. When I discovered how angry I have been and how depressed I have been and unhappy with my life, it helped me to realize, well, I haven't really been clear about what I want. I haven't been clear about understanding who I am. So I'm giving you the opportunity now in this short time we have together to kind of check in with yourself. Well, who are you? That's a good question. Who am I? Who am I in the big scheme of things? Who am I in my body? Who am I as I get up in the morning and go about my day? And as you discover who you are, you may also ask the next question, which is, well, who am I and why am I here? Why am I here in this lifetime, in this place, in Manchester, New Hampshire, in the United States of America, what's today, February? Why am I here? There's got to be a reason, don't you think? I mean, we're not just here to just go drift along moment to moment or drift along in our lives based on how life herds us. But we can make choices so that we're not being herded into our life, but we are choosing the next step. We are choosing to go right or left or up or down or stay put or breathe. I mean that's a simple choice you can make as soon as you feel any discord in your body, is to breathe. And breathing is an excellent way to clear your mind, to bring oxygen into your whole physiology, to bring oxygen into your heart, into your brain, into your muscles. We cannot live without oxygen, and there's a reason for that. Every cell in our body needs oxygen to function, to do its process properly. And so breathing is the first step to clarity. If you're not clear, or if you're confused, or you can't make a choice about something, what would it be like for you to stop and take a breath? I know that felt like eternity, but it was only a couple seconds. And continue. And totally empty your lungs. So make your exhalation longer than your inhalation. And then whatever's going on in your life that you want to make a choice about, slow down and breathe and maybe ask some questions about that choice. Ask some questions such as, is this in my best interest? Is this in the best interest of other people? How will this look as I do this? Will the outcome be in the direction of my goals and my dreams? Will this hurt anyone? Will it be beneficial for anyone? Whatever your questions are. And then you can breathe in between each question. And breathing is free. You don't need any tools. You don't need to buy anything. Sometimes that kind of puts people in a space of, well, I don't know if I want to do that, but free breathing is free. So it's a huge tool. It's a huge tool that we discount and we don't use and we forget about. I'm guilty of that as well. So coming back and reminding myself to breathe, even like when I'm going to bed at night, if I'm having a hard time sleeping, stop and relax and start just breathing. Because even when we sleep, and especially when we sleep, our body needs oxygen. As our body is regenerating, rejuvenating, and restructuring through the night as we're sleeping, that's when it needs oxygen almost the most, a lot. And so I realized that breathing before I go to sleep at night really helps me to fall asleep and helps my body. And it helps me to sleep with more clarity. So, how are you so far? And I don't have any calls yet, but if you want to call in at any point in time, the number is 413-0223. So thank you for joining me out there in the viewing land anyway. Okay, clarity. I am working on a program to find my own clarity in my own life. And one of the things that happens with me, or that I've noticed about one thing that what they call a modus operandi, or a way that I've operated in the past, is I self-sabotage. I get myself in the way of my own good things, or in the way of a path that would be beneficial for me. I get in my own way. I'm always putting my foot in my mouth, I'm not always now, but I was, and that's called self-sabotage, sabotaging yourself. And that, if you do that to yourself, then that is a good key that you're not being clear. You're not clear about your own life and your own direction and where you want to go. Do you self-sabotage? So what would be, what would be an instance of self-sabotaging? Well, I'll think about one in a minute. I can't, sometimes when I'm trying to think on the cuff, under pressure, I can't, so I have to let it go and come back to it later. But self-sabotage puts you into a place of being a victim, doesn't it? A victim. Poor me. Somebody hurt me, or somebody did this to me, or I did it to myself. why did I do this to myself? Do this self-talk, this negative self-talk, self-sabotage, becoming the victim. If you find yourself in those situations where you're feeling like you're always the victim of something, that's a good cue for you that you're not being clear in what you want to do with your life and how you're running your life, how you're running your energy, how you want to be. It's a good opportunity for you to come back and breathe. And what I like to teach people to do is how to ground down into the earth. And so I can teach you that right now. And what I would suggest you do, if you'd like to learn how to ground yourself, which is grounding your energy, just like grounding electricity. If you have, you put something in the earth, a rod in the earth, and connect it to an electrical thing, it grounds the electricity. The same thing happens for us in our energy field, because our energy field is electricity. And when you ground with intention, it helps your energy field to be solid, and helps you to be in your body. It helps you to be clear. So right now, if you'd like to learn how to ground, I would suggest putting your feet flat on the floor and getting comfortable in your chair. I like to put my hands in my lap and let your back be straight but loose, and your head on your shoulders, letting it be vertical, straight if you can, but not stiff. You want to be kind of loose. And breathe and relax. And breathe in and breathe out. And as you exhale again, you release and relax. Breathing in the love of the earth on your in-breath. Filling your lungs and your body with that love. And exhaling, letting go out your out-breath. And coming back down. And as you then breathe in and breathe out at your own pace, bring your attention to your body and allow your energy to go down your legs, down into your feet. And pay attention to your feet right now, the bottoms of your feet. And imagine, just imagine that your feet are going to be growing roots, imaginary roots, down through the floor, down through all the levels of wherever it needs to go, into the bedrock of the earth, down through all the layers of the earth. Imagining now that your feet are growing roots down through all the layers of the earth, through the red molten lava, all the way down into the center, into the core of the earth. And you're breathing in and you're breathing out as you're doing this. And you're letting your body relax while at the same time you're growing roots. You're connecting into the core of the earth. And just see how that feels for you. So that's one way to center and to become clear, is to ground your energy, ground your electromagnetic field, the energy field that is all around us and inside of us all at the same time. And when you ground like that, if you were to practice doing that every day as often as you would like. You can do it standing up, you can do it sitting down. I wouldn't suggest doing it while you're driving, but once you get into the habit of practicing it, it'll become automatic like that. And anytime you feel like you're self-sabotaging, or anytime you feel in a disarray, or you're not present in your body, you're angry, you're not happy, you have some emotions going on, you can stop and ground. But I guess what I'm saying is, as you practice this intentionally every day, then eventually you can just snap right up, grounded. Come back. And whatever was going on a moment ago that you didn't like, or was bringing a disarray into your life, you can forget about it. You can let it go. You can ground. You can bring your energy field back into alignment with the earth, back into alignment with your purpose, with who you are, with why you are here. Whether you know the answers to those questions or not, coming back into your center will help you to become clear on what it is you are here to do, and who you are, and why you're here. So there's a little tip on grounding. You can do that anytime, anywhere. If you want to do it before you get up, or when you get up in the morning, as soon as you get out of bed, stand and ground and imagine your feet growing roots right to the center of the earth and feeling yourself solidly connected to the earth. And you know what else that can do? The earth's vibration is very healing. It's it used to be like 7.8 megahertz, but I think it's going up. It's been escalating, maybe 8 megahertz or 12 megahertz. I don't know, but it's slow. It's very slow and gentle. It is rising. Something shifting in the earth causing that to happen. But as you connect in with that vibration of the earth, it slows you down while at the same time helping you to clear yourself out for the day. You can give all this, anything that's going on in your energy field. When you ground, you can release all of that junk, any of that etheric stuff that's running around in your head, or giving you a disarray for the day, and release it and give it to the earth. Send it down to the earth. And the earth will gladly take it and dissolve it away, or transform it into love, or into whatever is necessary or needed in the world at the time. So there's a nice practice for you to do if you're in this place of not connecting in with yourself and being disconnected with yourself. Ground into the earth, and then once you're grounded into the earth, so you're grounded, you're in the center of the earth, your roots are solid, then you can allow the energy of the earth from that core of the earth to then travel back up your roots, and through all the layers and through all the bedrock, right up and through your feet, up your legs, and back up into your heart. And then you and earth are one in your own heart. I don't know if you can feel that, but it feels wonderful to be in that place. It feels so nurturing and nourishing, and that's I believe that's kind of what we're meant to be, how we're meant to be on this planet, is connected to the earth in our heart in this sacred way. And sometimes I wonder about the animals and the plants and everything that lives on the earth other than humans, and they kind of automatically are there. It feels like to me they are automatically there all the time. So why not practice doing that? Because in this modern society, we've kind of disconnected from the earth. So here's a way to come back in, connect to the earth, connecting to yourself, aligning you to your clarity. Why do you want to be clear anyway? That's a good question for you. Why should I be clear? Why would I want to be clear? What is that going to do for me? Well, what it can do for you is help you to decide what direction you want your life to go. It can help you to make different choices. If you want to live in, say, Florida, then how would you make choices so that you can get a job or create a living in Florida or the Southwest or France or wherever it is that you want to go and live, or whatever it is that you want to do? Becoming clear on what you want to do and how you want to live your life then gives you a starting point to start making choices in the direction of that you desire, what you want to do, where you want to go, how you want to live your life. And for me, my perspective and what I believe will happen is you'll become happier. You'll be more joyful. You'll be living in your heart more. You'll be fully living your life in this moment, because that's truly the only moment we have, right? Is this moment right now. We have only this moment because, well, the past is gone, the future isn't here yet, as some people would say, even though to me time is an illusion. I'm learning more and more that being in this moment is the precious moment. This is the time. This is now. This is what we're here for. And that's why I say when I started doing this TV show, I started looking around at myself and saying, wow, I came from an introverted, terrified accountant, living in my little cubicle, 8 to 5 every day, going to work, coming home, to becoming or growing into loving doing this, helping you, talking on television, creating my own stuff and giving it out to you. I am here right now in this moment, loving this. And I'm giving you this opportunity to look at your life. And how can you look at your life and love what you do? Love where you are every minute of every day. I believe that's possible. I'm working towards that still. I can't say that I'm happy every single minute of every day, but my goal is that. And that's where, as I become clearer and clearer about my goal, which is to have my heart happy and to be a joyful person and to love people and to care about people and to be giving to people and to really enjoy living moment to moment, whatever that means for me, the more I do that, the clearer I get on, well, what it is why am I here? And I believe I am here to be of service to you and service to me, service to my family, service to the earth. And so everything that I've learned is what I'm speaking to you now, here in this moment about. Not everything that I've learned, but this is something I have learned through my own life travels, my own life experiences. So So who are you and what are you doing? And have you learned to ground? Try grounding as often as you can throughout the day to bring you into alignment with who you are and why you're here and what you want to do with your life. How will you become happy? We're here to become happy, right? Yes, yes, yes. And each of us is unique in that happiness, perhaps. I mean, could that be? I believe my happiness is my uniqueness. Your happiness is your uniqueness. Yes, happiness means we're smiling, we're joyful, we're bubbly, we're upbeat, and all of that stuff. However, the way that happiness comes to you could be different than how it comes to me. In fact, it probably is. But when you see someone that's in their joy, that's happy, that's aligned to what they want to do, aligned to their purpose in life, and enjoying it authentically, doesn't that make you want to have that? Doesn't that make you want to be your authentic self, your true self, enjoying your life and earning a living at it and being prosperous and abundant? And that's possible for you. That's possible for all of us. And how do I know that? Because I'm living that. I am living that. I remember dreading, how many years of my life? From the time I was maybe 15, I was working, earning money, until, how old was I? I don't know, sometime in my 40s when I left my accounting job. All those years, so that's 25 years, 25 years of dreading getting up every morning and dreading going to work and dreading coming home and couldn't wait to come home and have a couple drinks and watch TV and veg out and, and then I go back and do it the next day and the next day and the next day. I was not in my body. I was not living my life fully. I was not happy. And that's what I said in the beginning. I just realized a few years ago that I was depressed and angry pretty much all my life until I finally am realizing that we can make a choice. I can make a choice in how I'm living my life. I can become clear. I can ground. I can look at my thought processes and make a choice based on, am I thinking that I'm poor me in a victimhood and somebody's hurting me, you're doing this to me? Or can I make a different choice and say, I empower myself to know that only I can choose to let someone hurt me. Only I can choose that. If someone has some words that they say to me that it may be pretty upsetting if someone heard them picking on me, so to speak, or some derogatory words that perhaps you wanted to say something to me that's very derogatory. Well, I can take that in different ways, can't I? I can either accept what you say to me and think, well, you don't like me, or you're a bad person for saying bad things to me, or I can say, I'm sorry that you feel that way, but you must be really in a lot of pain to say those kind of words to another human being. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can look at it. So, from my perspective, I can choose. It's my choice. However someone speaks to me, how I take that in, how I own it or not own it, is what makes me happy or sad, right? Happy or sad. If someone says they hate me, well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you hate me. I don't hate me. And so when someone says that to me, I feel like, wow, you're really in pain. Can I help you? I'm sorry that you're in such pain. To say something so terrible to me because I'm a human being. Yeah, I make mistakes, but there's no reason to hate me. So in other words, you can make a choice moment to moment when someone speaks to you or when something happens to you. You can make a choice of having it be terrible and a bad thing and I hate that person and then you send it back out. Or, I'm sorry, I don't believe that. That belongs to you. So if someone says they hate me, I'm sorry, I don't believe that about myself. That belongs to you. Or someone says I'm ugly or they don't like the hat I'm wearing or they don't like my hairdo. That's not about me. It's about that person. And again, when you become clear about who you are, why you're here, and clearer and more clarity, then you can do those kinds of choices in the moment. In other words, you cannot accept someone's bad words coming toward you because they're not about you. They're not about me. As I'm becoming clearer and clearer, which I invite you to do as well, become clearer and clearer about who you are and why you're here and any other help things that you can do, you can make different choices based on your heart, your desires, where you're headed. Does this serve me? Does this not serve me? Right? So, we are powerful. I am powerful. I am powerful, as are you. And I will ground down into the power of the earth and bring that power back up into me and nourish myself with the power of all that is around me and all around you. So, cut through the pain. The pain, isn't that's what really gives us anxiety and makes us depressed and makes us angry, isn't it? The pain. The pain that you think someone did to you, or the pain that you've accepted into your life, or the physical pain of getting hurt or having an illness. And from my perspective, those are all different choices we can make in our lives. Even if say, someone had an automobile accident, well, there's a choice that was made along the way in your life, if you happen to have an automobile accident, that your energy field's sent out there to give you this lesson back. This is my belief, and I've seen it happen in my own life when I shift my beliefs. So again, becoming clear about what you're sending out there so that you can receive back what you want, because what you send out there in thoughts, subconsciously and consciously, thoughts and actions does come back. It goes out and comes back. It resonates. So whatever you send out vibrates, right? It vibrates at just like the words vibrate, the thoughts vibrate, the actions vibrate, like a ripple in a pond. And so those ripples actually end up coming back to you. So anything you send out there always ripples back to you. Pay attention to that, and that will give you clarity as well. So cutting through the pain and the self-sabotage. So there's a nice, this is probably, you can probably go online. I know there's some books out there about this as well. There's a process, a Hawaiian process called Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono. I love Hawaiian language because it every single letter in the word is enunciated or pronounced. And Ho'oponopono is an ancient healing technique from Hawaii, from the Polynesians. And this technique, it sounds really simple and it sounds kind of woo-woo, but I know I've been practicing it, and it really is strong and really works. And one thing I've come to learn in the programs that I've been studying is that doing something like Ho'oponopono, which I'll tell you in a minute, helps you to become clear, and working with your clarity moment to moment to moment throughout your whole day, not just in the morning, at night, or a couple times a day, but becoming aware of your thoughts, aware of your feelings, and aware of whatever's around you that's bothering you. And then using a technique like Ho'oponopono. There are a lot of other techniques, but I'm going to tell you about this one that I use. I actually use it all the time. Clears out that crap that I was talking about, all that negativity that might be coming at you from another person, that you're perceiving it as hurting you. And when you do the Ho'oponopono work, it's very basic, it's very strong. But again, the key to success in changing your life is to feel the positive feelings of the strong words that I'm going to give you. And the strong words are, the most important words in this process are, and when you say these words, these three words, as you might guess, pardon me, you're saying them to yourself. You're saying these words to yourself. In fact, there's a deeper process of not only saying them to yourself, but think about your little girl or your little boy, your inner child, the one that was hurt and had all these problems growing up, whatever they were, and bring the image of that little child, of my little girl, up into my conscious awareness, and see her there, or see him there, and say to her or him, I love you. Say that to your hurt little child that's inside of you that didn't get the parenting that he or she thought she needed. I love you. Now, that's the first step in Ho'oponopono. From my perspective, there are four things. You can say them in any order. However, I've come to understand through Dr. Hugh Len, who is not the originator, but the one that started practicing this and made it popular in the world today. He is expressing the importance of saying that first to inside of yourself, into you, and feeling it. How do you do that? How do you feel I love you to yourself? That can be a hard thing to do. I know, I understand. That's something I work on a lot in my classes, in my class that I call Your Heart is Your Body's Healer, and also in my healing practice. Your heart. How do you say I love you and feel it to yourself? Well, that's something you need to practice. Just saying the words to begin with is a start. But the more you can see yourself in your mind's eye, and maybe see something that happened when you were a kid that you were not nurtured with. Something happened and you wanted to be held, or you were crying and something happened. Well, now, what if you were to see in your mind's eye, you being the parent and embracing your little child, embracing your child in your mind's eye and saying, I love you. That's possible. And it's very powerful. Very powerful. Those three words, if you say them with your heart to yourself or to anyone else, those are the most powerful words I believe you can say in the universe, period. And so the Ho'opono prayer, you can call it a prayer or saying or technique, is a way of clearing yourself throughout the day. If something happens in your life that gives you a disarray, or if you start judging other people, or sputtering or complaining about this, or complaining about that, is that doing you any good? Is complaining doing you any good? Well, maybe it is. Maybe you're addicted to complaining, and maybe you're just feeding your addiction and you think you're feeling good, but inside that's really causing a lot of discord in your physiology, in your energy field, because complaining is a very low vibration. So if you find yourself complaining or feeling judged or feeling less than, or just not happy, then the first thing you do is, you can even just go to the men's room or the ladies' room, or go somewhere if you want to be alone and look at yourself in the mirror, or just hold your heart and just say, I love you. And feel it. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love me. Or you can say it to another person. I love you. Maybe not face to face with them. That is very powerful. And can you feel how much softer it makes me feel? How much softer maybe you can feel how soft you feel when you say I love you to yourself? That is amazing. That is huge. The next thing you might say to yourself is, I love you. I'm sorry. Sorry for what? Sorry for whatever just happened, for any of this feeling, any of this negativity, any of these judgments. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Why? Well, we are all in this together, and whatever I see happening in the world, I feel I have I have a part of, and so on some level, maybe not physical, but on some level. If I can see something, that means it's in my awareness. So I say, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, in the event of being with your little child and saying I love you to if you wanted to do some healing work, inner child healing work, which it's always a good thing, because I know we all have inner child issues going on. Let me go on that one. Oh, I mean, really, we all came out of our mother's womb. That was a hard thing to do. Pop through that little hole, that little opening, that little space. So just coming into the world is hard. So there's a first trauma is birth. Birth is a big trauma for all of us. And some people come in easily and some people struggle coming in. And so there's the first thing to forgive. I'm sorry. I love you. I'm sorry. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Can you feel that? You want to feel it. You want to feel the emotions of it, because that's the power. Emotions of the feelings are the power. So feeling the emotions of it is really important for bringing clarity. So I wanted to give you an example of something that happens to me or throughout my day, because I have a client that I still do some accounting work with, and it's very, very complicated accounting work. And pretty much every day, I cannot find the answer. With accounting is, the reason I like it is because it can be very basic. You have the plus column, the minus column, and you have all these different accounts, and when you add them down at the end of the day, this column should equal that column. So it's pretty basic. However, when you're working with multiple currencies and multiple companies and too much stuff going on, then the columns for some reason don't match. And if they didn't match last year, then you got to go back last year and figure out why and all that stuff. So inevitably, every day I'm saying to myself, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. Over and over and over. And that's clearing any of the angst and anxiety that I have going on over the fact that I am not able to get that answer, that I'm still working on that, solving that puzzle, because to me, mathematics and accounting and numbers are all a puzzle, and I love doing puzzles too, because at the end of the day, it should balance. You should come to an answer, the correct answer. You should know the correct answer, just like a puzzle. When you're done with a puzzle, all the pieces fit, and you've got a nice picture. The same thing. So that's some of the things that I love to do. So use the Ho'oponopono prayer or a technique if you are feeling in a disarray, maybe just starting to practice it during the morning and during the evening, but find a way, once you get into, like I said, the same thing with grounding, once you get into a habit of doing these things, once you start doing them every day, they just click, and they just pop in when you need them. They pop in when you're having a hard time. They pop in when somebody says something to you that hurts. You can make a different choice because it doesn't have to hurt. There's a great book out there that is one of my sacred texts, or I don't want to call it a Bible, but it's kind of like a Bible to me, that I read it over and over and over. It's Don Miguel Ruiz's book, The Four Agreements. And one of the agreements I constantly am working on, and that is what I'm talking about here, and that is take no thing personally. Take nothing personally. And what does that mean? It means when someone's angry and they're acting out towards you, it's not about you. Don't take it personally. And that's what I'm talking about in becoming clear. The more you can do that and not take personally when someone's trying to, sabotage you, or you think is acting toward you in a way that is not for your best interest, or that you are perceiving as hurting you, or mean, or whatever, you can make a different choice. That's not hurting me. It's hurting you for saying that. I'm sorry that you are in such a disarray that you need to say those types of words to me, another person. I don't accept it, because I don't take what you say to me personally. Because what you say is because you're in a bad space. You're in a negative space. You need to act out whatever's going on in you. And I don't have to accept it because it's not about me. Take no thing personally. So I recommend that book, Don Miguel Ruiz, R-U-I-Z, The Four Agreements. So that's one of the agreements. Take nothing personally. And that's one thing that sticks with me, that I really strive to do. And when it's not happening in my life, that's a good opportunity for me to stop and look at it and breathe and do some Ho'oponopono or some of the other techniques. There are many techniques out there for finding clarity. Why do you want to find clarity? Why am I always looking for clarity? Well, because I want to succeed in life. I want to be happy. I haven't gotten to the place of where I think I'm happy yet. I mean, this is a great place to be here in the studio talking to you on TV, out there in Manchester or wherever you happen to be in the internet land, if you are on the internet television. However, there's more. I'm always desiring more, right? Aren't you always desiring more? And I'm not getting that more yet because I'm not clear. I have more stuff to get rid of. I have more baggage that I'm kind of be over my shoulder. I'm kind of dragging it along with me. I want to let it go. I want to become free. I want to be free. And I'm getting there. And I have to say thank you because I'm very free in this moment. I have to say thank you because today is a very free day for me. Hope you can do the same thing. How was your day going today? I went out this morning and made a snow angel. Yes! I love snow angels. I know in the fall and summer and fall moving into winter, I really dread winter. I really don't want winter. But when it comes, and a day like today after a nice storm like yesterday, I can get up and put on my snowshoes, go out for a nice hike in the snow, come back, take my snowshoes off, and just lay in the snow. Oh my God, does that feel good? Just lay in the snow and make snow angels, you know? It's just worth it. The same thing when we get a nice sticky snow, I love to make snowmen. And that's kind of being in the moment, isn't it? And so I'm so grateful for that freedom. So grateful. As I said, there are other things I desire, so we're all desiring more things, aren't we? That's what life is about, keeping us wanting to be happier and happier and happier. So another piece that I want to just talk to you about briefly, I don't have a lot of time left, but excuses. Where do we get excuses? I have excuses for everything. I can't do this because, I can't do that because, I don't want to do this because, it doesn't make me feel good. Okay, so excuses. What are my excuses today? Oh, I'm too tired, or oh, I'm too lazy, or those are some of my excuses. We're gong on those too. Thank you, singing bowl. Can you feel that? Excuses. I was watching a program about excuses, or maybe I think I was listening to it. It was an audio program on this man's theory on how it is that we come to have excuses. And his theory is like this. He says, or his thought is, pardon me, his thought is that when we were little, and, when babies are 3 or 4 years old and, 2-year-olds, and you do things, and you don't know why you do them because you're new, you're brand new on the planet, you're only 3 or 4 years old, you do something, and your parent scolds you and says, "Why did you do that?" Even when you're 6 or 7 or 8, or even when you're now. All ages we do these things, but in the beginning, when we first started doing things, we didn't know why we were doing. We're just curious. You spill the milk, or you throw the cookies on the floor, or you make a mess somewhere. You do something that's not acceptable adult behavior, and you're just a kid. So you do something that an adult says, "Why did you do that? That's wrong. Stop it. Don't do that." And you won't need to come up with a reason why you did it, but you don't know why you did it, right? You're just a kid. I don't know. You look curious. You just want to play with it. Something happened. So you come up with an excuse. You come up with a reason you did it, but you don't know why you did it, but you got to tell somebody a reason why you did it because they're expecting a reason why you did it, but you don't know why you did it. You're just a kid. It just happened. But they want you to tell them why. So you create an excuse. You create an excuse. You create an excuse, and you create excuses and excuses and excuses for everything you're doing without even thinking about why you're doing anything and why you even need to tell somebody why you're doing anything. And before you know it, you're an adult, you're an old adult, older and older, and you're still finding excuses for why you do things. So there's an opportunity here for you to look at what you are creating in your life as far as excuses that are not necessary, that are not real, that are holding on to energy, excuse energy, that you can release and let go of. You can release and let go of those excuses. How can you do that? You can ground. There are some other techniques. I'm running out of time, so I can't really go into them now. But the excuses also keep you from being clear because you find excuses that you don't need. You don't need excuses. Excuses have no power. Well, I shouldn't say that. They have a lot of power. They're holding a lot of power that you can release and use the power elsewhere, but you do not need to make excuses. There's no reason for them. So pay attention to how you talk, pay attention to how you behave, pay attention to how you relate with people, and just realize in the moment, oh, did I just give somebody an excuse for something that, was that an excuse? So be curious about that. I am curious about it in my own life all the time. So we don't need to make excuses because they came about in such a way that, I don't know, it just wasn't necessary, I don't think. So that's something to consider, something else to consider. So we've covered a lot today. Clarity, we've been talking about clarity and why you want to become clear. And so coming back around is why do you want to become clear? Why do I want to be clear? What is clarity for me? What is becoming clear? What is that doing for me? It's helping me to know the overall picture of why and where and how I want to respond to life. Once I know why I'm here and where I am going and what my goals are, or what my heart desires, what my heart longs to do, and I accept that and I say that that's where I want to funnel my energy and focus my life, then that will help me to stay. When I keep bringing that image back, that's a way of becoming clear so that I can make choices around allowing that to happen in my life. Notice I said allowing. There's no way to force life. Forcing life does not work. That has been my experience. And as I think I've said before on the show, when it was a 30-minute show, the 3 things I learned in healing school, the most important things that always come back to me are, number 1, surrender, which means stop and breathe. Let go. Let go. Number 2, trust. Trust that all is well. Trust that your desires are being met. Trust that you're aligned to your heart's longing. Trust that you're grounded into the earth. Just trust in providence to giving you what you need. Number 3, allow. Allow. Let it happen. Allow it to happen. Let it happen. And you'll notice if you do these things day by day by day, I have come to notice in my life, there's no room or no need for complaining. There's no room for excuses. Those are lower vibration things that I do not need in my life because they don't get me anywhere. They only hurt me. The same way as speaking out badly toward another, it's about whoever's speaking out being in pain. I believe the same thing is about excuses and complaining. Stop complaining and start working on who you are and helping you to be happy without pointing fingers out at the other. So thank you for all this time that we're together. Happy Valentine's Day will be next Friday, not this Friday, but as I said, our friend Glenn brought in some beautiful candy flowers and a heart vase to remind us Valentine's Day is coming up. And so become clear on your heart's longing. This is a good time of the year to do it when you're looking at Valentine's Day. And I want to also say that I feel very grateful to the fact that I am also an ordained minister, and I am going to be performing a marriage on Valentine's Day. I am so excited. These 2 people are getting married, and they want to do it outside in a gazebo, and they come from Florida. so this should be interesting on Valentine's Day. We're just praying for a beautiful warm day with the sun shining and the sap flowing, as the sap needs warm days to flow, and joining 2 people in love, in the heart, and connecting the heart. So it's all been fun. It's all been great being with you today. And I hope to see you next week. And if you need to call in at any time, my contact is on the screen there. Please do email me or connect in with me in any way you can, or you would like to just give me a heads up of what you would like to see on the show. So until next time, thank you for joining me. I'm so very grateful to be in your life. And remember, your heart knows the way.